Live from Long Island, New York, it's time for the Nerd Soup Podcast. Starring Anthony J.Q. Nash.
I don't know what's going on.
Teddy.
I just called Chief and this is it.
Lorenzo Stu Warren.
I did sleep on this movie, literally, and
Marissa.
Go Spider-Man.
Aaron the Nerd Soup Monkey.
Wish my dreams came true.
And your host, Beau Oliver Blue.
she had the cake too. I was like, what? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Nerd Soup Podcast. I am Beau Oliver, joined today by Aaron, the Nerd Soup Monkey. Why were you just flexing your muscles there?
More of a stretch.
You know this isn't. They can't see us.
No, I was stretching, but then I looked over. I'm like, oh, damn.
You were just impressed by yourself.
I gotten fat.
You were like, wait a minute, the gun show. Live podcast one of these days? Fuck it, we'll do it live.
I look terrible right now. I've gained a lot of weight. Haven't cut my hair or shaved my beard. It's not, fuck it, why not? If you can't accept me at my worst, then you don't deserve me at my best.
Yeah, you don't deserve it.
Plato.
Yeah, no, Aristotle. Mistakenly attributed to Plato, but yes. You can listen to this podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify. The world of movies is kind of taking a bit of a hit recently, but we're still going to do our best to discuss some of the biggest topics of the world today. And you can send us your fan questions.
World of movies.
World of movies, yes. Not the world today. No,
Yes.
definitely not. Send us your questions at nerdsoupforyou@gmail.com, Nerdsoup on Twitter, Nerdsoup Monkey, Teddy Nerdsoup, Anthony JQ Nash, and Purple Girl NS. Marissa finally got her to watch Breaking Bad, so if you want some Breaking Bad tweets, you could go follow her. Took her years.
It's been a while.
She sent me like about 7 texts yesterday breaking down the motivations of Walt. And I was like, video essay, write it now.
Isn't that the best when you finally get somebody to watch something?
And they love it too.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of those things with Breaking Bad. It's an easy sell, but it's also a hard sell. It's like, here's the best show of all time. And some people will say, oh, I want to watch that. And other people will say, it's not the best show of all time.
Well, I'm kind of upset with you because part of that whole dynamic is when the person who finally decides to watch it, and then you expect the other person to be like excited and want to talk about it. I got nothing of that from you when I watch Under the Skin. I got like 2 minutes. Like, oh, how was it?
Yeah, but that's a movie.
It's a film.
All right, let's our first topic here today. We're talking about Telu. Wow, this was disappointing news when I saw this yesterday. The Last of Us Part 2, initially supposed to come out in last fall. Then it was moved to May, so it's going to come out next month. But now it's been pushed back indefinitely. And this is sad news. As somebody who just played the game, I'm sure this is disappointing for you.
Yeah, I've been waiting for so long, and it just sucks to have this happen again.
You haven't been waiting that long.
I know.
That's why it's funny. Yeah.
Well, that was the thing, because how long did you have to wait?
I think I played it in 2014 or 15.
Okay.
But I was one of those people who never wanted a sequel. So, because the ending to me was just so perfect. I was like, I don't need to see any more of this. But once they announced it, I was like, hell yeah. Once I saw Ellie playing that guitar, I'm all in. And this was disappointing because we were planning to review the first one. We might push that back, or we might just still do it. It's still one of the best games of all time. And then we were going to review the second one. Yeah. And it makes you think they didn't even give a target date. They just said indefinitely.
Yeah, that's the main thing there. There's a lot going on right now, so it's probably, I didn't read the article, I just saw that it was delayed. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it had anything to do with what's going on in the world right now. But...
Well, I'm mostly going off of the post on Twitter that Naughty Dog released. And yeah, it's directly related to the fact that their workers can't work. And there was also a controversy with Naughty Dog employees wanting to quit because they were being overworked. So you have to imagine this game was probably being crunched up until release date.
Yeah, I don't know, it's, you would think it's like the perfect time for something like this to be released, but they're probably working right up to the deadline, so it makes sense for it to be delayed for a little bit, but I don't know, it kind of sucks. I was looking forward to it, because part of the advantage of playing it a month ago was that I didn't have to wait long for it to be released. Yeah,
you won't have too long of a wait, but if I had to guess, I'm going to say this game doesn't come out until next year, because we don't know when society is going to get back to normal. Mm-hmm. And it's just so up in the air at this point. But like you said, it would have been the perfect time with everybody at home. But these games, man, it's fascinating how, it's supposed to come out last fall, wasn't ready. It's supposed to come out next month, still not ready. Well, I appreciate that almost. It's like they're trying to reach perfection.
Well, you see games that aren't ready when they come out. Patches and all that, updates. So it doesn't surprise me that they were working to the last minute. So I don't know. It sucks, but it's like you said, the first game was so great that I just am happy that there is going to be a second one. So whenever they release it, I think if you guys waited this long, I can give it a year.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're delaying it, but it's not like they're going to be working on it during this delay. They're delaying it because they can't work on it. That's even worse. But it is interesting with the controversy of Naughty Dog workers saying they've been worked too much and now they can't work at all. It's kind of, I don't know how they feel about that.
That's a big theme in the video game industry, huh?
Yeah, it's a big problem. Where you have so many people who are independent contractors who are being worked to the bone, and then then they have to go on to their next job.
It's kind of like what we see in movies with like some CGI companies. It's a lot of work that I think a lot of people just look by and just take for granted.
Oh yeah,
all the little things of the world, and from everything I've heard about this game, it was going to be a little bit bigger scale, right?
Oh yeah, of course. You always have to go bigger with the sequel.
Yeah.
And I think people don't realize that about Hollywood and the show business, is that a lot of the people working in it are just middle-class people going job to job, paycheck to paycheck, trying to find work.
And just looking at the movie world, a lot of times it's the most important part of the movie. It's Thanos, and Infinity War doesn't work if Thanos doesn't look perfect.
Yeah, hours rendering this man to make him look realistic. Because if you just have a smidge of the uncanny valley, half of your audience is talking about that. Yeah, there's something off about him. And that never came. Yeah, no, it's when you see all those names at the end of a movie, it's a collaborative process.
And I know you sit down and you remember every name.
I remember every single name of every movie, of every person who's worked on every movie that I've seen.
Who worked on Infinity War?
Kevin Feige. That was the first name.
Yeah.
You want me to go all of them? I'm starting from the beginning.
Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo.
Let's move on.
Okay.
What do we have here? What's the next story? We talked Telu. Telu being delayed. HBO. HBO releasing all their content.
It's not TV.
No, it is not TV. We're going from movies to not TV. Did you see this? That they're releasing shows and movies for free. It's over 500 hours of content for free. So I guess this kind of makes sense. Give people a taste of your product while they're all going to be at home.
Yeah, it's something where I saw this and I was like, oh, maybe I'll watch Succession. Meanwhile, I have an HBO account.
Me too, yeah. I was like, yeah, maybe I'll watch Barry. I have HBO Go.
I could have done this literally at any time in the past years.
Succession is the next HBO show I'm going to watch.
I hear fucking fantastic things about that.
I like the Rupert Murdoch dad. I like his accent.
Yeah. Well, it won Best Drama, right, at the Emmys last year?
Oh, yeah, it did.
I think so. But, yeah, it's a good move. It's kind of like an extended preview. Usually you assume HBO Max would probably have a free month trial, but I feel like this is a more effective way to give your product to people who are going to be home for the foreseeable future. So, yeah, it makes sense. The Game of Thrones wasn't on it, too. That was...
Well, everyone, they know. They know better.
Yeah.
Everyone's seen it. Most people hate it.
You would think that that's a bigger show, but it was Succession, Barry, like you said, some movies, so...
Westworld?
Probably not. I don't think I saw
I know
that.
The Sopranos, The Wire, the bigger shows, the older shows.
What is it going to be on? Just HBO.com?
Maybe, maybe it's on demand or something like that.
Gotcha.
Well, I mean, if that's the thing, if you already have HBO on demand. I don't know, maybe, website, I would think.
Do they know when HBO Now is being released? It was supposed to be soon, I think.
HBO Max?
Max?
I think it's supposed to be this year, yeah. And I guess their rollout isn't ready because you would think, if they would do that instead of this, they would say, hey, HBO Max 3-month free trial or something like that instead of doing this. So they're probably not ready. But it's an interesting point. There's been a lot of discussion on the internet about studios possibly releasing their movies online instead of going into the theaters. Even there was a report the other day that they discussed it for Black Widow. And ultimately they decided that they do want to release it in theaters when things go back to normal. But I think that would be the biggest domino. If Disney says our billion-dollar movie is just going to come out on the streaming, then everyone's going to do it. I still don't think it makes sense financially.
It's tough. For the bigger budget movies, no. But, middle budget, low budget films, why not? I think there's an audience at home that would rather just watch it at home, even if it was in theaters. If you could pay $20 for Emma, let's say, I think more people will be willing to buy it at home than go to the theater. Because $20, family of 4, you assume, much cheaper than the movies.
Yeah, this idea of paying $20 to rent it for 2 days has turned some people off. It's, I don't know, because the studios do want to make some money back here. It's unfortunate that The Invisible Man had to cut its run short because of all this. So, I don't know, I kind of sympathize with both sides in that if I pay $20, I want to own it.
Yeah, but if you're a family or you're with someone and you have 2-3 people, then it's worth it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the movie theater experience. Yes, you're missing out on that, but you could kind of,
like hire somebody to sit in the background and talk, and you shush them. Your cell phone goes, "Hey, quiet."
But it's
every speaker in your house connected to the TV.
When you watch a movie, you're kind of renting it. You just watch it and then you go home.
Yeah, you're renting it.
Here you can pause. You can make some popcorn, go to the bathroom. I don't know.
Take a screenshot, post it on your Instagram story.
Yeah.
Well, you could do that at the movie too. People do that. I hate when they do that.
Really?
Not like when I'm sitting and they do it, but like when I see it happen on Instagram. Like, put your phone away.
The multiplex by us, they have like a cool setup where you can't see the people in front of you.
Ooh.
So if they're on the phone, you can't notice.
I need a movie theater that puts on a helmet where the whole theater is empty. Just in my mind, and it's just the movie,
It's like VR?
Yeah, but it just wipes out all the people around me. And only gives me the sound of the movie. Because there's nothing I enjoy more than going to an empty theater.
Yeah,
it is Sunday awesome. Morning matinee.
I remember when I saw 8th grade. I saw it like Wednesday during the day. Only person there. It was fucking awesome.
Assassin's Creed, I went on Christmas. It was me and some other guy. We both suffered.
Yeah, it's like an experience, like war, how you become closer because you're going through this experience.
Yeah, but it is interesting. Other studios, like you said, studios where the movies aren't that big in budget, 10 million, 20 million, they may take the chance, depending on which studio produce them. I mean, it's interesting because you asked this the other day. You were like, did the Oscars happen? If this is the new normal for 6 months and the theaters are still shut down, what do the Oscars do?
I don't know, because you're still going to get a lot of the Oscar movies releasing in the fall.
That is true, yeah.
It's going to be my Regal subscription, I'm going to get my money's worth with that. Once this all ends, presumably, hopefully soon, it's just going to be 3 or 4 movies out at once.
Do you think that they're going to do that?
They have to, right? Unless everything's going to move to next year.
Where everything just gets pushed back depending on how long this goes. But you would need such coordination between all these studios.
Yeah, I feel like it's just going to be a clusterfuck.
Yeah, but they also don't want that. Because then they're going to lose money as well.
Yeah.
Because people are only going to pick one of the 2 of the 3 or 4 that are coming out.
I'm sure they're
But we're talking like, it's not like a regular weekend where it's like the blockbuster, the comedy, the kids movie. This is going to be like blockbuster, 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 big comedy. Everything that's being delayed.
I'm sure there's some coordination between them because I think there's mutual interest in spreading these out and making sure every studio has maybe a couple weekends at the most to be at the head of the box office. So, I mean, there's probably people working nonstop, analytics, numbers, trying to figure out the best time to release their films.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. You have another point to make?
Yeah.
I see you brewing. I see it. It's bouncing back and forth like Atari.
I don't know if it was a joke or a point.
Well, you think about that, and we'll move on to the next story. We have Rosario Dawson. That was a pretty interesting conversation, but we're going to move on to something a bit lighter. Rosario Dawson cast in The Mandalorian Season 2 as Ahsoka Tano.
Such a disappointing point.
Oh, what was it?
I'm like, Onward got released on Disney Plus yesterday, I think.
Did it?
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
No.
Yeah, no, I wish you would have kept that to yourself.
It would have been better in the conversation.
Oh, in the conversation, yeah.
Yeah, it would have been like, oh, yeah, that's like Disney, the big studio cutting.
Now you're stepping on the toes of Ahsoka
for streaming.
Yeah,
but Disney Plus,
relevant point.
It connects.
Oh yeah,
mm-hmm.
They've been struggling too, so that's an interesting move. Now I kind of want to go back to that conversation.
You want to go watch Onward?
You want to go? The Mandalorian Season 2 has casted Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano, a fan favorite of the Star Wars fandom, who was made famous through the Clone Wars cartoon series. And this is a character that people have been clamoring to come to live action. Obviously, she had her moment in Rebels as well. You're not too familiar with the character of Ahsoka Tano.
No, I've watched some clips. I've tried to get into Clone Wars. The first season, it's a little slow, I guess.
It's a kid show.
Yeah.
And I've heard Rebels is more on the side of kind of like the Justice League cartoons.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've watched a lot of clips online. I've watched her relationship with Anakin, like compilations, and a lot of just Star Wars explained videos on YouTube and stuff. So I have an idea of the character, and I think there is a lot of appeal there, and it makes sense why she's such a fan favorite. Rosario Dawson, I guess it kind of fits. She kind of looks like the character, and I think Rosario Dawson is a good actress, so it could work. I think for the Mandalorian series, I think they said that she might show up in Season 2, and then there might be possibly her own series Ahsoka Tano series.
Somebody check on John Campea.
Why?
He's going to die.
He doesn't like her?
He hates Ahsoka Tano.
Really?
You never saw that rant from a couple weeks ago?
No.
He went on this crazy rant about how if Ahsoka beat Darth Maul, that would be like the worst thing that ever happened to Star Wars. And Darth Maul, the Sith Lord, who's always getting his ass kicked by everyone under the two suns of Tatooine. Come on.
Obi-Wan slapped him up in a split second.
Yeah. He chopped him in half the first time, and then he tapped him around in the second time. Yeah, as an old man. It's an interesting casting, and it's an interesting decision to bring this character to live action. We actually heard Ashley Eckstein voice her in The Rise of Skywalker. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people wanted her to come to live action. I mean, you throw the makeup on her, she's got the voice. She's 38 years old, so it would kind of align with adult Ahsoka. I don't even know how old she would be at this. Yeah, I guess this is before the rebellion. No, this is after the rebellion. I'm so fucking confused with these timelines. But no, I think this is a good choice. She looks the character, definitely. If you throw the makeup on her, people have done that plenty of times through Photoshop.
Well, it is an alien character, so I don't know if you don't really have to stick to the age guidelines. It could just be one of those things where her race.
And it's funny too, though, with Ashley Eckstein, I'm kind of on the side of the people who wanted her instead. Obviously, Rosario Dawson is a bigger star. But I've seen her in the cosplay, Ashley Eckstein. It's like, yeah, that's Ahsoka. That could easily be a live-action Ahsoka.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with that, but Rosario Dawson, she is a bigger name. She was in all the Marvel Netflix series, so it could be a drawing point for some people. I wonder how this is going to fit into The Mandalorian. Obviously, we saw Gideon. He has the Darksaber, and you still have Baby Yoda and the Mando trying to, I guess, figure out where he came from. Who?
I totally forgot about Baby Yoda.
Yeah.
I forgot about him. She's going to recognize that instantly. Recognize him, the species, instantly. She knew Yoda. She trained under Yoda.
Maybe she'll bring some more insight to that.
And she's also very anti-Jedi. They even mentioned about how they fought the Mandalorian armorer. Talked about how the Jedi were their enemies. And Ahsoka's not a part of the Jedi at this point.
Well, I saw something where people were upset because when I first heard it and realized that Ahsoka was one of the voices at the end of The Rise of Skywalker, I'm like, oh, cool. That's probably a nice little nod for people who enjoy the Clone Wars series and enjoy this character. But no, she's not a Jedi, so it's a little confusing.
Yeah. It's she was framed for an attack, and they basically tried her, and they really tried to push this on her, and then she was found innocent, so she just leaves. She denounces the Jedi Order, and that's kind of how they explain her absence in Revenge of the Sith. Gotcha. So they kind of write themselves out of a plot hole.
But
to see, I mean, you know me, I love Force users. I love the white lightsabers that she wields.
Well, one of my favorite things about The Mandalorian was that it kind of had a lot of Star Wars elements, but it didn't really connect too much with the greater universe. So this kind of makes even a stronger connection to that.
Yeah, The Mandalorian is kind of becoming my favorite balance of the Star Wars universe and the Star Wars mythology. And like you said, the sci-fi settings, the desert settings, but also having hints of the magic in the world. The way they used Baby Yoda, I think, was just, looking back on it, that first season was so good. There's only really one episode that I dislike.
Yeah, the one when he teams up with that other bounty hunter, right?
Yeah, and where they wasted that actress, I forget her name, but she's all over. She's going to be in Mulan. She was in the original Mulan, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the other bounty hunter that was presumably killed. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to this. There have been some pretty, I would say, disturbing accusations against Rosario Dawson. Did you see that?
No.
So, I mean, for people out there, you can Google it, Rosario Dawson, and read for yourself, decide for yourself. So you wonder if this is going to be something that blows up, and then she never appears in the show at all.
No, I didn't have to look that up. All I know, she's with Cory Booker, right?
Yeah.
So.
No, I think they broke up, actually.
Oh.
All right, let's move on to the next story here. We have Spider-Man and... Let's move on to the next story here. We have Spider-Man and Daredevil. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, but there are now new rumors out there, new developments about what his role would be in Spider-Man 3, possibly. And this kind of makes sense. Matt Murdoch would be his lawyer.
Yeah, we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where there was like rumors, so that wouldn't be bad. I think they might do something where he doesn't reveal himself to be Daredevil right away or until the end.
Right, yeah. It's going to be one of those things where he's defending him throughout. Spider-Man's also fighting, doing stuff, and at the very end they team up to take on whoever the villain is going to be, possibly Kraven the Hunter. But I wanted Spider-Man in the Netflix shows.
Yeah.
So bring them on over because I love them together in the comics. And I hope they take elements of the Daredevil comic where his identity is ousted and he's basically like, I'm not going to defend myself. You can decide for yourself. Like, yeah, I might be Daredevil, but I'm saying that I'm not. And he just goes on with life. So, like, people will scream at him, that's Daredevil. And then somebody will scream at that person, he's blind, he can't be Daredevil. So the whole world is going crazy about if he's Daredevil or if he's not. I wonder if they'll take that position with Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. I'm a kid. I'm not Spider-Man. But if you think I'm Spider-Man, that's cool. And just moves on with his life.
It could be something where my tummy's never growled this much before. I'm not even hungry.
Your tum-tum is rumbling.
It could be something where Daredevil, that is, just trying to get more insight on to try to figure out for himself. It's like, oh, if there's this criminal in my city, I need to figure this out. And then he kind of takes on this case to try to gather more information on the situation.
I love how in Daredevil they treat Hell's Kitchen like it's the Shire. Like, my city. It's 8 blocks in Manhattan, dude. It's not a city. The small-ass island of Manhattan and the 8 blocks that make up Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah.
That was one of the most ridiculous aspects of that show. Great show, overall. Yeah. And I always say Charlie Cox is a fantastic actor.
Well, that was
really good.
That was one of the hopes, that if the 2 universes ever cross paths, is that they kept the actors from the Netflix series. Because I think they all were pretty much cast... Hold on. I think they all were pretty much perfectly cast, save maybe Iron Fist, but...
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I wonder if they'll bring back Charlie Cox, but they'll say that the Netflix shows aren't canon. This is Daredevil again. It's kind of like an M situation in James Bond, where she was M for Pierce Brosnan and then an M for Daniel Craig. Mm-hmm. He's just Daredevil again.
Yeah, they could do that. I wonder if maybe just the Daredevil series would be canon. His dealings with Kingpin, maybe the Punisher. That could open up some doors for them to return in the MCU.
Well, season 3 very much connects to Defenders. Mm-hmm. So if you make Daredevil canon, you have to make Defenders canon, and then you have to make everything else canon. It's tricky. I'd say the shows aren't so bad that you can't make them. It wouldn't be such a black mark on the MCU as a whole, if you did make them canon.
No, I think a lot of people assumed that they were.
Yeah.
Until they weren't. It's because in the first couple seasons of each show, they made loose connections. I think they said, like, instead of the Hulk, they said the big green guy, or Captain America, the flag waver. So, and they referenced the event, or I forgot what they call it. Whatever. They referenced the first Avengers movie and everything that went down in New York City.
Yeah, nothing that would affect the main story of the MCU, but acknowledging that, yes, we are in the same world. Mm-hmm. Once again, it's a movie that it was supposed to go in production this summer. So
yeah, same thing with Mandalorian too. That's supposed to come out later this year. So as more time goes by, we'll probably get more news on delays, cancellations, and things like that. Well, not cancellations, but postponements.
You know what's always uplifting?
What?
Fan questions.
That's for the fan to decide.
Yay!
People you call up to the show, you better be ready. That's what you're supposed to do. Sitting there arguing and you're trying to spell your name and all of this other stuff. It's not your show, it's my show. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak your mind. Don't call up here unless you got something to say.
All right, this question here is from Will at Zodiac Killer 01. He's got the best bio on Twitter. Ted Cruz do be looking kind of fresh, though. He's got 9 followers. Not enough for that bio. Come on, everybody follow at Zodiac Killer 01. His profile picture is Ted Cruz. What, if any, games have you guys been playing during your isolation? If not games, what shows, movies have you been grinding out? We've been gaming.
Yeah, we have been.
We've been gaming. Just an absolute beatdown last night in Monopoly that you guys took by the hands of moi.
I came in second.
I hate you so much.
Yeah, Monopoly we've been doing on a pretty regular basis. I've been playing a lot of MLB The Show, hitting fucking bombs.
How's your career coming?
It's good.
Hall of Famer?
I'm on my way.
Okay.
Got traded to the Mets.
You think Skip Bayless likes you?
They're not even talking baseball.
They don't. They really don't. I always like to imagine when I created my career guy in NBA, Skip Bayless loved me. He's like, this guy's the next GOAT. He's the nenext Jordan. I just beat Uncharted last night, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and Teddy are planning to review it. It's such a fantastic series of games.
I was going to buy that. I've been meaning to play that and then God of War. They're very cheap on the PlayStation Store.
A lot of great bundles right now.
Also, I've been getting into Warzone. and I think I'm addicted.
Warzone, you guys don't let me play.
It's not that we don't let you play. You just never want to play.
Yeah, but you always have 3.
You only can play with 3s.
I suck at Call of Duty anyway.
It's fucking intense. I came in 3rd the other day, and I was livid.
Wow, you're usually a guy who comes in 2nd. I'm surprised.
Never came in last, though. So
This question here from Josh Clark at JAClark21. Most overrated and underrated actor currently working? Well, I think a good answer for underrated would just be Charlie Cox. We were just talking about him. I definitely think he's underrated because I think he has world-class talent. He's very good in Daredevil. And sometimes they don't give him the best dialogue to work with, but he makes it work. Mm-hmm. He was really impressive.
There are a lot of underrated actors, I feel like, just in TV series in general. It's, for some reason, still, we don't really give the prestige to these great actors in television that we do in great actors in film. It's like we see with, even like just Westworld, something that we're reviewing, Evan Rachel Wood, Tandy Newton, Jeffrey Wright, Aaron Paul, who we've known from Breaking Bad to be fantastic. It's just, they're just giving fantastic performances week in and week out.
Yeah, I think it's tough to say overrated. Who is an overrated actor? I would say overrated for me means that they get, it's not that they're bad, it's just that they're overpraised. Mm-hmm. And for me, that would be Leo. It's always been Leo for me, where I don't think he's a bad actor. I think he's a very good actor. But people talk about him like he's all-time great, top 3. And to me, I think that's just going too far.
I strongly disagree.
They're overrating him.
He's perfectly rated. Overrated, it's hard. Because I feel like the people who get the most praise usually deserve it. I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is widely regarded as the best actor working today.
I think the world has kind of decided that Jared Leto is overrated, which I don't understand or agree with.
Well, he's
a weird dude.
Dallas Buyers Club, he was really good in Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like him in that movie.
2049?
Yeah.
I liked him.
I liked him too.
His Joker in Suicide Squad is obviously the biggest thing people point to. But
more the behavior now. It's less of people kind of forgive him because the movie sucked, but it's kind of the behavior of him taking himself so seriously as a method actor.
Yeah, it's something where I think Jennifer Lawrence, she gets a lot of hold on. Yeah, it's a lot of, you see that a lot where people don't like an actor or actress because of things other than their acting. And
yeah, Jennifer Lawrence was turned on a couple of years ago, and now she's kind of more under the radar.
But she's really good. Brie Larson gets a lot of hate not due to her acting. It's weird when you talk about.
Yeah, no, it's always tough to say who's an overrated actor. I mean, a lot of people point to Tom Hanks. So like Tom Hanks plays the same character in every movie.
Yeah, but he's really good at it.
He's great at being Tom Hanks. I'm not great at being Beau Oliver. You know, that's the thing. If I got on camera and was like, be Beau Oliver, I'd be sweating, biting my nails, anxiety attacks. You, even worse.
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't know. Who's considered the best actors? Who's like gets the most praise? Daniel Day, Meryl Streep,
Anthony Hopkins, Gary Oldman, Bryan Cranston. Mm-hmm. I think some people think Bryan Cranston's a bit overrated, but that comes with the territory of being on the biggest show, being on the most acclaimed show. Cate Blanchett, Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I said Meryl Streep.
Okay, you think she's overrated?
I think
she fits my definition of overrated, where it's just too much praise.
Yeah, and I think there's always a negative connotation of overrated, where people think it's an insult, where it's like, no, you could still be very good, but if sometimes the praise is a little too much. Like, I think The Godfather, I'd be like, oh, I think it's overrated, not because it's a bad film. I think it's one of the best films of all time, but people constantly put it number 1.
Right.
And it's not my personal number 1, so in a sense, I can say that's overrated.
It's like Mona Lisa. Great painting, influential. We talk about it too much.
Yeah, it's like
too ubiquitous.
Meryl Streep's the best actress. But like, well, you know, Viola Davis I think she's better, or Amy Adams.
Yeah, well, underrated all time, I would throw in Viola Davis,
mm-hmm.
where she should start getting recognition as one of the top dogs in the game.
They were all three. They were all three together. Were in Doubt. Meryl Streep, Viola Davis, and Amy Adams.
My favorite Viola Davis.
Viola Davis won the Oscar for that supporting role.
Wow.
She was only in the movie for like 5 minutes.
And Fences, she won as well, right?
Yeah.
Her performance in Fences is just incredible. When she starts freaking out on him, I'm getting chills thinking about it. This question here from Bailey. When we getting that Tiger King review? Have you seen this? the Tiger King show?
I've seen a lot on Twitter, and I'm kind of put the pieces together in my head.
Yeah.
It seems nuts, like absolutely crazy. I've seen some of the music videos. I can kind of sing.
Well, they're making the movies now.
The Tiger King movies?
Yeah, they already sold the rights.
Movies?
I would assume so. He's a Tiger King. You could tell that story in one movie? Seems like there's a lot going on there.
I hope so.
Tiger King 2, Tiger King 3. You think they stopped at Crocodile Dundee 1?
I hope it turns into like the Fast and the Furious by like the 5th Tiger King movie. He's a fucking CIA agent.
The fan cast, Danny McBride as Tiger King has to happen.
I saw David Spade. I think
yeah.
Dax Shepard and Ed Norton were talking about it.
No, but this is something I wouldn't be able to sit through. I really struggle with reality TV, and I understand the appeal, the ridiculousness of it. No one's watching it because it's
reality
quality.
TV. I thought it was a documentary.
It's a documentary. Oh, okay.
I think so. I don't know. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I just see what people talk about it on Twitter, and it seems wild. You have tigers. You have country singers. Murder. Yeah. I think I sold it for myself right there.
Well, there you go. Are you going to review it?
I don't know. See how it goes. There's a lot of shit I need to watch right now. I'm watching Peaky Blinders. I want to watch season 3 of Ozark. We have Westworld going on right now. A lot going on.
This question here from Brandon Greenroy at Stonks. Are any of you letting your beards or hair grow out while in quarantine? Follow-up question: can you grow facial hair? LOL. I'll answer that one. Not so much. It takes weeks for me to get a beard.
Yeah, I haven't got a haircut or shaved. I'm gonna let it ride.
Oh yeah, no, I'm bathing, shaving. The only things I do are eat and sleep.
Well, I used to have long hair, so this is kind of a good time to bring it back.
I will say though, no, I haven't changed my shower schedule at all. I still shower at least once a day, if not 2 times.
Yeah, I think
there's nothing like a good shower, feeling clean for the day.
Oh man, I was in the shower this morning. I just didn't want to get out.
Yeah,
something about hot water pouring all over your back. It's just like, this is living right here.
All right, guys, that's the Nerd Soup podcast. This question here from Dalia at Cookies and Milk. I'm genuinely curious. What was each of your high school experiences like? We were just reminiscing about high school on Monopoly last night.
Yeah, we were.
And by the results of me forgetting to build on my properties turn after turn after turn from reminiscing on these terrible memories, it was pretty bad.
Still won, though.
I did. Yeah, well, I'm the king.
Shut up.
No, high school was, I think for most people, a lot of people love high school. I mean, Teddy, that boy could live in a simulation of high school every 4 years for the rest of his life. Just repeats. You graduate, go back to 9th grade. He was the king.
Oh, man. No, high school was a good time. Looking back on it, though, I was like, man, I was an idiot. Just, like, what I did, like, just in terms of, if I took it seriously and studied and did all the things I did in college, I could have been a fucking, not a genius, but I could have got, like...
You wouldn't be here.
No. Yeah, I probably still would have.
Could have been Dr. Monkey.
Maybe. But it's like when you go to college, it's like, all right, now I got to, like, actually study and take things seriously just to not fail out. And I did pretty well in college, but in high school, I kind of just got by just not having to study, doing homework, and I still got pretty decent grades. If I would have, like, tried and put some effort in, because that's the thing. It's in 21 Jump Street, it's like, don't try. It's like in 21 Jump Street when Channing Tatum makes fun of the kid for trying.
Yeah. Don't try.
Yeah. So I was like, cool. It's like, I didn't do homework. Let's see how fucking sick I am.
Well, in high school, I didn't try because I just didn't want to do it. And it wasn't like, because you know this, I was very introverted in high school. I didn't go out much. So I wasn't not doing work because I was like cool and cutting class. I was there every fucking day. I never cut. I just didn't like it. You know, I just didn't want to do it. So I just slept or I read, and that was high school for me. But, you know, definitely some good memories. We were reminiscing about, we had a friend on Instagram the other day posting clips of varsity basketball, and me watching my lazy ass not run back on offense was pretty funny.
That still perplexes me. Most people, you don't run back on defense, but not running back on offense.
Well, that's the thing. I was our best defender, so I had to save my energy. I'm not shooting. I'm not crossing anybody up. I got a guard.
You had a Jimmy.
I had a little Jimmy.
I had the same schedule for 4 years. It was school, football practice, Call of Duty, sleep. I did that every fucking day.
It's a nightmare thinking back on those schedules when it was like school, sports, homework, games, sleep every single day. Talk about a loop.
Nothing was more thrilling than going to class, knowing you didn't do the homework, and trying to get it from someone while your teacher's going around checking it. I was the fucking king at that.
This question here from Tweet Shark. This is really for Nash at Codiolo. I wish Nash was here to answer this. Is Flo from Progressive still the hottest mascot?
He loves himself
He
some Flo.
loves Flo from Progressive.
The name your price tool, man. Something about it.
Well, Mr. Clean. The commercial where he steals the guy's wife.
Yeah, Mr. Clean will fuck your wife. That's the thing. I think.
Flo from Progressive.
What about the khakis guy, the State Farm guy?
Well, they switch now.
The new one.
Yeah, it's not Jake anymore. I think he's still named Jake.
Yeah, I don't know. Flo are the best television mascots. What about the Mayhem? The guy who used to be in Law and Order? He's in the Tina Fey commercial.
Oh, the Mayhem guy, yeah. I like the dude who used to sell all those wacky homemade things. Remember that guy? And then
Billy Mays?
Yeah, Billy Mays.
Yeah, he definitely fucking like
Billy Mays with those. Didn't he wear like the he wore like flannels, right? Oh, no, like the lumberjack shirts.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was electric.
How'd this go from hottest TV mascots to the mascots that'll come and fuck your wife?
The Nerd 2 podcast, keeping you on your toes. This question here from Kane at Kane the Stranger. Who is the better Dragon Ball Z villain? Frieza or Cell? Frieza.
Yeah, Frieza's the OG GOAT.
I love that voice. Because of the voice, the character almost feels, I don't know. Somebody said that they would love Lena Headey in a live action role as Frieza. You just deck her out in makeup. Yeah. But there's just something so
I would have never picked that.
Yeah. I love those off the wall castings.
Frieza is, he was dope.
He's just so, even rewatching right now, he's just so intimidating because he's so evil and weird looking and alien-esque, but Cell's good too.
I like small Frieza with the horns.
Yeah, that's the gif right here is a little small Frieza when he's in the little floating cradle.
He comes out smooth as fuck.
He does.
Who's the Honda Day lady?
You're still on this? This question here from Mason Thorne at money_mace08. Are you guys going to do episode reviews for the Jordan documentary, The Last Dance? We might talk about it on the podcast, definitely. I think that's podcast material.
I hope it's not just, this is Jordan. Look
them
how great
slurping
he is.
Jordan.
Yeah. You gotta, if it's gonna be a real documentary and really set itself apart, because we know Jordan's great.
I think it's only covering the 98 season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it's basically about the height of the phenomenon. So it's gonna be a slurp fest.
But you gotta, why was he coming back at 98?
Well, no, 96 he came back.
Oh, 96.
96, 97, 98, they three-peated. Then he retires. Because it's called The Last Dance. You want the Jordan documentary about 94 and 95.
That's, Why was he playing baseball?
Well, that documentary is made by, Oliver Stone. That's not going to be ESPN. That's going to be, the 4-hour Oliver Stone where Michael B. Jordan's playing Jordan. Goes into all the conspiracies about what was happening with the gambling and his father and the mafia. That's the interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's, we know Jordan's great, but there's so much more to the whole story. But
did that trailer appeal to you, though, with all the interviews that they did get?
Yeah, they have Kobe, right?
Yeah, when you start off with Kobe and then Obama, that's a big two.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm more interested to see how this affected all these people.
Yeah.
I think getting the perspective, we all know how great they were, but seeing it from the perspective of people who watched and who were there, like a Pat Riley, who coached against him, or Phil Jackson, who coached Jordan, that's going to be interesting to get all these perspectives.
No, if you're a fan of the game, I think there's a lot there to be intrigued by, and I think it'll be worth watching from that standpoint alone. Like you said, I feel like we get lost when it comes to Jordan because we were obviously too young to experience that in that time. And we always hear everyone talk about how great he was, but I guess just the whole cultural impact of spreading the game and just influencing all these players that looked up to him and emulated their game after him.
Dave Rothenberg once made the point that at Jordan's height, the ranking of celebrities was movie star, athlete, musician, Michael Jordan. That's how he transcended everything. Mm-hmm. And everyone knows the name, even if you haven't watched a second of basketball. And obviously with the major athletes, you get that. Like, a lot of people know who Tom Brady is, don't necessarily watch football, but Jordan was just so big, and I think that's why he's viewed with these rose-colored glasses, because I mean, he just dominated. He dominated everyone.
Yeah.
This question. Yeah. Another point.
No.
This question here from May at Corverain Me: would you rather go to jail for a year or go to jail for however long it takes you to solve a Rubik's Cube?
I feel like a Rubik's Cube. I've tried. But if I
don't get it.
If I sat down and I don't know.
Because
there is an equation.
If you never get it, you're never leaving.
There is an equation.
Yeah.
Can I X? I'm sure there's someone in there that knows how to.
Solitary confinement.
Solitary confinement. I don't know if I have the capability to figure it out.
I'm taking a year in jail. I'm not risking.
Is it one of those jails where I can get a phone in and watch a YouTube video on how to solve the Rubik's Cube?
No. Memory.
I think if I do it nonstop, I can get out in 2 months.
Oh, he doubled down for the Rubik's Cube question. You get 0 help.
Oh, fuck. I think I can get it in 2 months if I sat down and it was the only thing I was doing. But I might go fucking crazy.
I'll take a year in jail. Harden me up.
You don't think you can solve it? If that's the only thing you had to focus on?
I'm telling you, I can't solve it.
By luck.
No, it's not even that. I would get frustrated in 5 minutes and throw it against the wall.
What if I peel off all the stickers? You think they'll find out?
Yeah, look at that.
I'm playing chess while you're
playing with a Rubik's Cube. Yeah. This question here from Omar at UselessBXWeeb. When will you guys review Neon Genesis Evangelion? Soon. I promise you. I promise you soon. This is a hard show to review. It's not like we can just get on the mics and be like, oh, this show is really great. This show is fucking confusing as fuck.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. This question here from Fern at CLaw555. What are your Super Smash Brother mains? Samus. All day. Every Smash Brothers, it's Samus.
Captain Falcon.
Charge up that bomb.
I actually played a few weeks ago, the new one. You know how you just, no matter what the circumstances are, you're just better than somebody at something?
Mm-hmm.
It's always like you'll never be able to beat your big brother in basketball or whatever.
Right.
My cousin, I haven't played Super Smash. I don't even have a Switch. I haven't played the new one barely at all. Played a couple times. Kid has a Switch. He plays all the time. Always throughout our lives, I was able to beat him in the old Smash one on GameCube. So we played this one. I'm like, before the game, like, oh, how do you do this? What are the controls? Things like that. Fucking waxed him.
How old is he?
22, 21.
Okay.
So it's just one of those things where...
It would have been more embarrassing if he was 12, because that's the video game peak. That's the prime, 11, 12. I have a nephew, can't touch him in Smash Brothers, because their hand-eye coordination, that's when it's at its sharpest. That's actually scientifically verified.
I don't think so.
No, it is. Yeah, they say when you're in your 20s, you get worse at video games. There was Will Ferrell was going to make a movie about this. It was like an aging e-gamer who can't keep up with the younger generation.
Wow.
Oh yeah, play a 12-year-old in any game.
That's because all they do is play the games. Kids these days.
What you
go out, experience the sun.
All you and Nash do is play MLB The Show.
Yeah, that game fucking drives
Go play
me
my
insane.
cousins in Texas in MLB The Show. 11, 9, 6. They will wipe you and Nash. They hit home runs every pitch. I'm telling you, Aaron. I've played against kids.
I'm a sick pitcher. That's my strong suit.
I wish we can make... I'm going to actually ask them if they'll play you online. Ooh, this is a good question here from Michael Bartmier. Hope I'm saying that right. Sorry, Michael. Considering how global the Hollywood movies and TV shows are, why do you think American sports haven't been so popular in the rest of the world?
Basketball is probably the most popular, and baseball, I think, are fairly popular.
Well, he said here, world viewing figures say basketball is your most popular sport. That is true. And it's only 7th in the world after soccer, cricket, tennis, etc. I've made that point for a long time. Basketball is not the most popular sport in America, but worldwide, it's our biggest export when it comes to sports.
Yeah, baseball has some influence with some
Latin America
and Asia. Basketball, Asia.
Basketball's
some Europe.
all over.
Yeah, it really is.
I think with basketball, my dad always used to say, you just need a hoop and a ball. And it's a similar thing with soccer. You just need a ball, and you can make anything a goal. I think that's why soccer is so popular, is because the infrastructure, you don't need to spend as much. On baseball, you need the equipment, you need umps, you need the field. With hockey, the amount of money that I knew from people that spent on hockey equipment,
it's
thousands of dollars. Yeah. And the infrastructure for basketball throughout the world, I think we'll see in 20, 30 years basketball kind of climb up that top 10 list. But 7th isn't bad for worldwide. Nothing's ever passing soccer.
Yeah, soccer is just one of those, and cricket too, where it just seems so established overseas in Europe, India, and things like that, and pretty much everywhere besides the U.S. I feel like.
Yeah, with cricket, definitely. We have
not so much soccer. Soccer's pretty popular here, but it definitely takes a backseat to the big four: baseball, basketball, football, hockey. But cricket's just something where there's little to no presence from people who were from here. A lot of the people you see watching it or following it have it. It's just culturally.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something where it's just so popular. I don't even know what to say.
No, it is. It's like a cultural thing. And I think with soccer, too, you see the way that they raise their kids. At 2 years old, these people are out there making rainbow flicks.
Oh, it's
They're
crazy.
teaching them how to dribble. And
I think cricket, too, a lot of people just don't get it, or how the scoring works, or because it's like, oh, it kind of looks like baseball.
Well, it's a sport. I'm pretty sure it's a sport that can go on for days.
Yeah.
The way that they play it. So there's no clock. It's like baseball in that regard.
I'm sure it gets fucking intense.
It's funny, the football export doesn't really translate in Europe because it's once again, they don't understand it. And they don't take the time. I'm sure if we sat down and took 30 minutes to an hour to understand cricket, we'd get it. But who wants to do that, when you got soccer? And it's the same thing with us. We don't want to understand cricket. We got basketball. I think there's a lot of the same appeal with basketball and soccer and the aesthetic of the kind of beautiful game, the way that they describe soccer with the crossovers and the finesse, the dunks, the layups. There's a lot of, I guess, like you always say, if you could be great at any sport, you would take basketball because there's nothing better when you're out there just dancing on everybody on that stage.
This guy I follow on hockey, he always tweets moments and stuff from hockey games, like in taglines at the beautiful game. And it's just
with hockey? Oh.
But it's
he's being funny.
Because it's not.
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you what, there are some passing highlights.
No, there are a lot of beautiful things, but he usually posts like all the other things.
The beautiful game.
Such a weird sport where it's the amount of aggressiveness they let the players show. It'll just be like a little scrum in the net, and people are getting fucking pants shoved up their helmets.
Yeah, that sport, it's I don't know the history of hockey's popularity, but it does maintain that fourth position in this country. We do love our hockey.
Yeah, mostly.
I wonder how popular it is in different countries in terms of
Canada,
soccer,
Russia.
Right, yeah, Canada, of course.
Sweden.
Yeah, Russia,
Czech
definitely.
Republic. Definitely has its place in some countries. Definitely Canada. Actually, the national sport of Canada is lacrosse, not hockey.
That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the national sport of Long Island. This question here from Keo Box. Hey guys, love the pod. Just rewatched Field of Dreams. Oh, so did I. If you build it, they'll come. What is each of your favorite baseball movie?
Hardball?
I love me some Hardball.
Yeah.
When that kid got killed, me
You're
at
just gonna
11 years old.
Call him that kid? Fucking G baby.
I don't remember the names.
Then don't speak about
I remember
it.
Don't speak on G baby.
Yeah.
That shit was sad, dude. I remember my mom thought it was like a kid's baseball movie, and I was 10 years old. She took me to see that shit.
I love when they go to the Cubs game and Sammy Sosa.
He does the kiss thing.
Yeah.
Then he used steroids to ruin that moment. I love 42.
42, 61,
61's a good
Mantle
one.
Maris. I don't know if it's a good movie, but I remember I used to watch it as a kid and be like, wow, these guys are fucking awesome.
I think it's called 9 Man Out, the White Sox scandal from 1918. I want to say that's the World Series where they fixed it.
No, 1918 Red Sox won.
Okay, yes, that's right. That was their last one, right?
Until 04. Yeah, baseball movies. You have A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Major League.
Oh, yeah. How did I forget it? Major League is fucking fantastic. I loved that movie when I was a kid. Still love it now. I haven't watched it in a while. Moneyball.
Oh, yeah, Moneyball's my favorite, without a doubt. I could rewatch that all the time. That's the first one that came up when I looked up baseball movies. Fever Pitch.
Chris Pratt was in that.
Yeah, he was the first baseman, right?
Like Scott Hattenberg or whatever. I love in that movie how they try to play it off like, oh man, this group of underdogs. When they had one of the best pitching rotations.
Oh, yeah.
And Miguel Tejada.
This question here from Christian Eulenberg at Music City Nerd. Do you consider a person who voice acts motion captures for a video game acting? For example, Troy Baker, who plays Joel in The Last of Us, or Ashley Johnson, who plays Ellie. Personally, I view them the same light as any traditional actor. I think we talked about this last week, right? When we were talking about Andy Serkis and Gollum.
Yeah.
And I think we kind of agreed that, yeah, I think the mocap is definitely considered acting. Troy Baker is the fucking king of video game acting. That guy's like in every fucking video game.
Yeah, does he do the voice too?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So definitely. I mean, if it's mocap where you're just getting movements down, like in 2K where they bring in players to do some of the dunk animations, maybe. But I think if you're actually doing all the mocap, giving the voice acting, and kind of becoming this character, then of course it's acting.
Yeah, they put the clips up on YouTube, the final scene when they reach the hospital. And I don't know if you did. I killed all the doctors. Did you?
What?
When you save Ellie? At the very end when they're going to operate on Ellie?
Yeah. I don't think it gave me a choice.
Well, you can. I mean, you have a gun.
Oh, I think I just bailed.
Okay. Yeah, I murdered all the doctors. I panicked and murdered everyone. I was like, come on, Ellie, we're getting the fuck out of here. But they post that scene of him saving Ellie on YouTube and all them in the dots doing the mocap. So, yeah, it's definitely acting. I always said Troy Baker does such a great Mark Hamill Joker. And he's kind of a good-looking dude. I'd love to see him like as a live-action Joker, just doing that voice. I think that would be pretty cool. All right, we'll take one more question here from Richard Leon Guerrero at Rizzle Rich. Aside from Game of Thrones, which HBO show could you see being a world in future Westworld episodes?
I think Sopranos world would be dope.
That would be so
running
ridiculous.
rackets with the gang.
You're just a capo?
It doesn't look like anything to me, Tone.
All right, everybody, that's the Nerd Soup Podcast for today. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Nerd Soup Podcast. And make sure you like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. Actually, don't do that. You don't want your friends knowing you listen to this.
You know how mad you get if someone shares you a video of 5 minutes?
Here's this hour-long podcast of these two idiots talking about Spider-Man.
Well, you could share the podcast. Don't share it as a YouTube video. Podcast, it's weird.
Different.
It's different. If you share, like, oh, it's a nice hour-long podcast, people are like, oh, that's sick. Here's an hour-long YouTube video with a still screen. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't want this.
That's actually a great promo. We should play that drop before every podcast that we put on YouTube. Thank you guys for listening. See you later. Hey guys, thank you for watching this video, and of course we would like to thank our Patreon supporters. Without you guys, Nerd Soup wouldn't be Nerd Soup. Seriously, your support is what keeps the fridge full, so thank you once again for your support. If you are interested in supporting Nerd Soup through Patreon, visit our page and check out the different rewards we offer to our fans. If not, then no problem. We appreciate anyone who takes time from their day to watch our videos. So thank you to each and every one of you out there watching, and remember to like and share this video. And hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like it. Or don't.